Bonjour. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to That Mill Podcast, Friday Night Live. My name's Omar. Joining me today, I have Frankie. Hello, mate. How are you?
How do, mate? Very good. Hello to everyone in the chat. Hope you're well.
Hello to the chat. Happy Friday, everyone. Pre-Derby County away. So anyone going tomorrow, put your messages in. Hello to evening to Peter. Hello, Dan Riggs. Right, mate. Hello to Jimmy. You caught the start of the show. Welcome, mate. Hello, Carl. Hello, Leslie. Hello to Chris. Hello to Dan. How are we doing? Are we all good? Hopefully we're all quite buoyant and positive ahead of tomorrow. I've got some stats for you to read out in a bit. I appeared on the Derby radio show a little earlier. I was just telling Frankie, but we'll save them for a bit later on. We're going to talk about, obviously, the Derby game. We'll probably talk a bit about Preston at the start, just if anyone want to get their thoughts forward about that game. And also, we'll talk at length about tickets, no doubt. I'm sure that'll appear a couple of times at Crystal Palace. Everyone get their Palace tickets, dare I ask? Anyway, I'm going to run the intro. If you're new around here, be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new. And yeah, let's get cracking.
Language you don't usually hear on television. Millwall in London's Dockland.
No one likes us, but we don't care. We're that Millwall podcast. Loud every Friday night right here. Legends like Jimmy and Joe take a share in the kitchen or two. Superhero Harris a fucking legend too. Through the good times and in this life, we support the Lions all our life. This ain't no place for fan TV. This is fucking Millwall through and through. Located on our very own John Ferguson way. Let them walk on, let them have their say. Millwall till we die. With that Millwall podcast, loud every Friday night right here.
And there you have it. So, hello, everyone. Yeah, no fan on the bald. No baldies tonight, no. Vicky might join us in a little while. He's not around tonight, but I'm sure he'll be around on Sunday. So hopefully after 3 points on Saturday away at Derby. Anyway, let's talk a bit about Preston. If you haven't seen it, me and Ben done a show on Wednesday night. We obviously spoke about the Preston game, but I want to get your thoughts, Frankie, after Tuesday, so to say. A few days later on, what's your kind of thoughts, mate, about that point at Deepdale?
Thoughts on the point or thoughts on the performance? Because I think they're two very different things, mate.
Give me both.
I thought it was a good point, and you can never be. I think I watched your show the other night, and I think it was all bob on. You can never be too sneery about a point away in the road, can you? Particularly when you talk about a Wednesday night up north, cold, grim, shit pitch, shit atmosphere. It was never going to be a classic, was it? So it's not a bad point. I thought the performance was really, really poor. I think I said this in the chat, and I'm going to get pelts for this, but I'm going to start anyway. I don't think we were much better against Preston than against Plymouth, to be completely honest. We obviously got punished against Plymouth. They created their chances. We got turned over. But the overall performance, of course, the 90, I don't think we were much better. What I will say to sort of give a little bit of context that, and I think why it's not worth kicking and screaming and getting all concerned about. I think it really showed that Neil still doesn't know his best 11. And he obviously tweaked quite a bit and played around with it. So, you know, it probably just reflects where we are in the season, right? We're probably not going to go up. We're probably not going to go down. It's the right time to try these things, and so yeah, it was a funny old evening. It was a tough watch, wasn't it?
It was. I think we matched them up, didn't we? That was the biggest thing for me. I think the main talking point coming into Wednesday's show. Obviously, Aziz kind of played the right wing back role. I think, you know what? First half, I think me and Ben called it. And to be fair, you know, he's quite right. Like, we weren't bad in the first half. I think Preston had that early chance. Aside from that, it was quite an even half. I think that if it played out the second half that way, we probably could have and probably should have, and maybe possibly could have done so, won the game. It would have been one of those where we walked out and gone, you know what, a 1-0 shithouse away win, a bit like Swansea earlier in the season, you know, when the North scores his goal in the last minute.
You took it, but you wouldn't deserved it, would you really?
No, of course not. But then, like, sometimes you have to ride your luck in away games, don't you? And I think one thing also I took from that when I was listening to the game on Tuesday, Preston have only lost 1 game in 9 prior to that, and now 1 game in 10. So, not pushovers, are they? And obviously, Alex Neil playing his old club, you know, all that sort of stuff comes into it as well. And I think if you said to me before the game, would you have took a draw? I think I said probably 1-1 or 0-0, and that's basically what played out, really. Obviously, my heart was going 2-1 win, you know, going to do it. It's a bit like tomorrow, really. I think if you said to me, would I take a draw at Pride Park? I probably would, you know, but I've got more aspirations for us tomorrow, to be honest. But you can't sniff at an away point. I think I've got some thoughts here anyway from the chat. Wrong subs at Preston cost us 3 points, Dan Riggs reckons. You know what? I mean, I don't mind the shout. I think that is an interesting talking point, isn't it, Frankie? I mean, obviously, Negley was strict and ready to come on, but it was interesting what Neil said after the game. It wasn't really a game for him, he felt like, and I kind of got his logic a little bit of that.
Yeah, I thought it was strange to watch him sort of get his jacket off and look ready to come on and then make decisions to not bring him on. But ultimately, right, he's the foot manager and has managed X amount of games at his level, so he knows more than we do about where Negley's at and what we needed to get points out of the game. So give him benefit of that there, I guess. I can understand the subs. He got a bit of stick, didn't he, online about Honeyman and Saville coming on again, but that worked on the weekend, didn't it? And it gave us a lot of impetus against West Brom. So I get why he did that. And I actually thought Coburn was a bit of the 10 minutes after Coburn come on, I thought we were excellent. It really looked like scoring and pushing on. So the subs were a funny one. I thought the starting 11 was wrong, to be honest, and the change of formation. But, you know, I've got the point. We move on.
I think also he's a bit haunted, though, from the Plymouth game because they played about 5, didn't they? Well, 3 centre-halves and wing-backs. Yeah. So I kind of, obviously, they outnumbered us in the wide areas, just made it look easy, didn't they, Plymouth at ease? And I think that may be playing in the back of his mind, I suppose. I think one question I want to ask you, and your take on this one, and to the chat as well, was Jensen at fault for the goal? I think I made my point quite clear the other night. I don't think so personally for me, but there's the question anyway. Was Jensen at fault for the goal on Tuesday night, Frankie?
Was he? I think I'm leaning towards no, but he didn't cover himself in glory.
Okay, elaborate.
I think it was ultimately a good finish.
Yeah,
I think Tanganga could have done a lot better, and yeah, made many mistakes. But I think that was one. I think it's just caught him a little bit cold, and I definitely thought the shot was going to come from 45, 50 yards out, wherever it was. So no, it probably weren't his fault. But Jensen's in a situation, I think, between that and the Plymouth game where it feels like not a lot of fans have confidence in him. So people get on him for things like that. But he could do have a couple of clean sheets again, couldn't he?
I think also what comes with it as well is like obviously the form of Roberts, and the better Roberts does, the more time will be coming for it. And I think it is with Jensen, it's just the confidence side of things. I think there's a comment in it. I mentioned that Danny's comment there, which I'll come to in a sec. But anyway, was Jensen at fault for the goal? Sean says no, I don't think so. Was a finish from Sean, he's saying, obviously gone on to say there. No from Chris Brown. Could have done better from Daily Millwall. Interesting to hear that thought from him, mate. Overall, Jensen does not give me a lot of confidence. And I agree with Patrick here, to be honest with you. Tanganga more at fault than anyone, but no point in pointing the finger. I think, for me, Tanganga doesn't cover himself in glory. I think also, if you're Jensen, you're thinking, if he heads it back to me, I've got to be ready to come off my line here and kind of sweep the ball up. So I think that's probably where Jensen's stuck kind of in a rock and a hard place a little bit, where he's thinking, if I come for this ball, I need to be kind of ready to come for it if he heads it back. He doesn't head it back. He kind of fails to get a good connection on the ball, and then he's squabbling to get back on his line, and Reece has a good connection on it and scores. Do you know what I mean? So it's a tough one, I think, for Jensen, but I think a lot of it is because obviously we see the confidence or lack of confidence sometimes in these performances that raises the question anyway. So one other thing anyway, we'll move on from that just briefly. We've got still shocks that Alex Neil admitted that he'd never seen Ivanović take a free kick until Preston. Come on then, Frankie, tell me about the goal. I mean, he's got it in his locker. He clearly has, mate. I think I saw him stood up for it. I think it was like a couple of free kicks before. I think Joe Bryan had a couple of attempts, didn't he? Hit the wall. One of them, he smacks the gazer in the face. It's not far from getting it properly over the wall, and God knows what happened if that went over. But Ivanović, mate, he's having himself, and what a strike and what a goal, mate.
It's just nice to watch, because you can just tell he's so confident at the minute. And the fact that he's 20 years old and he's sitting there saying to a 30-year-old professional, no, I'll have this, mate, is admirable. And you could. Am I surprised Alex Neil said it? I am a little bit, but it probably does explain why I haven't seen it before. Because I think we're all probably sitting there thinking, why have we watched Honeyman and Bryan smash these into walls and 30 yards over the bar for 4 months? And he can do that. So it kind of makes sense now, doesn't it? But yeah.
I think he's having himself, ain't he? Like, he's thinking, right, I'm going to set it forward, I'm going to score this goal. I'm just like, it's a bit like Nisbet's goal against Birmingham, wasn't it? When he first signed for us last season.
Yeah.
Like, Nisbet stands over the ball and just basically puts his foot through it, and the keeper gets a touch to it. But sometimes they do set up for a striker, but that wasn't one of those where I feel like it set up for a striker to kind of have the strike. It was, he had to get pace on it, lift it over the wall. I think even Neil Harris had himself. I've got to mention Neil Harris again, of course I do. But Neil Harris scored a couple of free kicks for us. But it was normally one of those where it's like 20 yards out where he gets the kind of whip on the ball, not really pace on it. But the third, mate, it had whip on it, it had pace, it had lift on it, everything. The keeper and it's always satisfying, I find, when you see the keeper watch the ball go in like that, and it's like
always
better,
doesn't it? Yeah,
it does. I think you see the keeper trying to get to it. Obviously, it's a great strike, fair enough. But when the keeper's like kind of thinking like this, like watch it, it's almost a disbelief, like us as fans, a little bit sometimes. So yeah, I mean, he's going to be on the next one, isn't he? No doubt, and probably put it in Rose Ed. So no doubt that will probably be.
I was just about to say he'll take every one now to the end of the season, and he'll never score another free kick ever again.
100%.
He's had his one. Let's just enjoy it. It'll never happen again.
Daily Mill actually says that he'll take all the free kicks and now never score again. It's a bit like when Morrison scored like one of those long range efforts, and then you feel like every other game he was going for goal for about 40 yards out. A question actually, which we'll come on to probably no doubt when we talk about the team later, but might as well touch on it now from Alex S here. Do you think the BFS, Big Fucking Serbian, and Coburn could play together? I mean, they did, didn't they? Obviously, second half, but what's your thoughts? Obviously, you mentioned Coburn coming on as a sub, Frankie, but could we see the two of them playing together? I think we could, personally. What do you reckon?
Yeah, 100%. Because I think they offer something different. They're both physical enough to occupy a centre back, but one likes it into their chest and a bit more of a traditional target man. The other likes to have it into his feet and spins off the corners a bit more. I think they're different enough where they could be a partnership. Do I think we will see them play together? Only in situations like on Tuesday. I don't think they'll start together, but mainly because Langstaff's obviously a bit of a strange situation. He's not fit, so. But yeah, I think they definitely can. They called trouble, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and I think it was interesting. I think someone mentioned the back three, obviously, and Alex Neil did go on to say in his post-match press conference that it's something that he'd like us maybe to work on. I think he mentioned the Ludis like I have not in the pre-season. I think it is something Alex Neil maybe might want to look at, and then maybe having two centre forwards in that option as well, Frankie, isn't it? I mean, I'm never a massive fan of the back three. I think Gary Rowett scarred me from life from it anyway in the first place. But listen, like, if you get the width and you get the players bombing up and down the pitch and you get two centre forwards that can be a real handful, I think on the question of them two together, I think the Serb definitely thrives off being on the last shoulder. It reminds me of Steve Morrison the first time round, where although Morrison could have done a job on the front on his own and had his back to goal, if you get him through on goal, a bit like how I think Morrison did it to Shitty, didn't he? That QPR game I remember always, where just puts him on his arse, goes past and scores a good goal. So yeah, it'd be interesting see how that one plays out. Really, I think Sean Bogle says here would like to see two up top. Even to Darren, hello mate, hope you well. Vengeful looks like he's going to score from a free kick. Could have had a hat trick if he took the first two. Yeah, I think he hit the crossbar, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, good edit that as well. I really like it.
Kevin Millbrook, here we go. Question: why the fuck are we still playing hoofball with all these new players? Tactics not changing from Harris. I'd argue we played better. I think if you watch Tuesday in isolation, you're right to make that point, Kevin, personally. But I do think we played not half bad football. I thought against West Brom in the second half, we penned them in, kept the pressure on. I think there is an evolution kind of happening here, isn't there, Frankie? I think you can start to see the play style evolve a bit.
100%, mate. I think he's definitely trying, and I think to your point earlier about being a bit nervous, maybe in the learnings from the Plymouth game. We went all out passing that game. They're like 70% possession. It weren't us, and we didn't look ourselves. So it wouldn't shock me if they maybe have sort of he set himself back, rowing back, didn't he, and asking players to do things that they're capable of doing.
Yeah,
I'm not particularly happy with hoofball football. It's not how I want to just play it, and it's not, I don't think it's how we play our best football, to be completely honest. But at the minute, with the way we're set up, with who we've got, it probably is the right thing to do to keep us in the league and keep us safe. So I'll put up with it, I guess.
Yeah, it's doing for now anyway, isn't it? I suppose. I think exactly. It is starting to change. Sean Joyce here. Joe Bryan has been half decent the last couple of weeks. Probably his best spell for us. People think he's good at free kicks because of what happened at Wembley. I think he scored 2 free kicks that game, didn't he, against Brentford and for Fulham.
Both terrible goalkeeping though. I've got a mate that's a Fulham fan. He said I think he only scored two free kicks for Fulham. And we all know him, so.
Wasn't it Saville scored a couple of free kicks for us against Sunderland, but again, like just flattered because it was the keeper making bad blunders. So it's a bit what's going to happen with the serve. Who knows? It was a great free kick anyway to round up on that one. Just to finish on the point of the Coburn and Ivanović, Patrick here goes, I don't think Coburn compliments Ivanović. I think Miho needs a few touches of the ball to build his confidence he gains. Bring Coburn in means he just runs channels, which he is better than that. Fair enough. Yeah, even to Connor as well. I hope you're well, mate. And also, let's move on to, I think we've kind of wrapped up on the Preston game anyway. Should we talk a bit about Crystal Palace tickets? Did you get your ticket, Frankie? You got a ticket?
I think I should say it quietly, but I got mine, mate. Did you get yours?
I did. I got mine on Monday or Tuesday when it first went on sale, to be fair. But a bit of an outroar this morning, wasn't it? I think you popped a good joke saying we should have gone live 10 minutes early today, mate, right? So
I think I kind of missed it all this morning. So what actually happened then? The people could only online. A lot of people could only get them in person, and there was not available online. Was that actually true? Or
no, I know a lot of people actually got tickets this morning online. I think
okay.
I feel for the club a bit, but then I don't think they help themselves sometimes for it as well. As I see it and as I understand it, it sounds like, well, I got my ticket 10 minutes early on Tuesday when it first went on sale. So I think I got it at 9:20. And like, I was just on the website by chance, as you would be normally when there's obviously games going on sale and stuff. So I, by chance, saw it. And I had friends that were getting tickets on the Wednesday and the Thursday and the Friday. And I said, look, be on the website early. And it played that way today. So it basically, like, the tickets are on sale 10 minutes before. I guess they put it on a bit early just to stop any potential issues or people queuing up ready to get it at 9:30 and maybe for the website to crash. But I think that's not helped the club and the ticket office because they say 9:30, but they can't.
9:30 Yeah, naturally.
If there's only a couple hundred tickets left and people are on there grabbing them, then it's a bit unfair on the others, isn't it? But I think the loyalty point system is there for a reason, right? And it serves its purpose overall, doesn't it? And I think we was quite late adopters of it as well. And I think end of the day, it's there for that reason to help people that have got enough points to get them. And everyone did that wanted to go, I suppose, that deserved to, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because I think it's one of them where if you get tickets, you're happy with the system. If you don't, you think it's an absolute farce. A little, and it's not quite the same. It's a little bit like Oasis when I was sitting there absolutely seething because I didn't get my ticket. Then suddenly I got it and I thought, actually, it's all fine, it works. So, yeah, I think it probably is the fairest system. But if I didn't have one and I was missing out, I'd be absolutely fucking seething.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think it went just to season ticket holders in general. I think, Chris, I could be wrong, but I think members was meant to be next Monday if it got to that point. But what was it, 3,800 allocation? Sorry?
It was never going to Monday, was it? Let's be honest.
No, I don't think so. And obviously, Daily Mill was someone on Facebook spreading lies. Chris got his at 9:20 today. There you go. Tickets were on sale at 9 this morning, but they advertised 9:30. So there you go. So yeah, if you want a ticket and you could have got a ticket, you should have been able to get a ticket, basically. And obviously, unfortunate for people that couldn't get one, but system's there for that reason, I suppose. So yeah, it's gone just to season ticket holders in the end. Daily Mill's confirmed that there. So yeah, I mean, look, Palace to come next week. We'll be previewing that next Friday. I can't wait to go over there, mate. I'm really excited.
The fault of, was it 3,000, just shy of 3,800 went it in the end? Millwall fans all going away.
Yeah, it gives me memories to the first time we played them in 2010 for a few years after getting promoted from League One. I talk about it all the fucking time, to be honest. But Phil Robinson, Rounds, Julian Speroni, we were 1-0. We were in the all yellow kit, and like it was my first time going Crystal Palace. I think. I think I went really young, but my first proper memory of going Crystal Palace was that game. And I just remember going and just the turnstiles getting smashed in. Firstly, that was first thing I was witnessed. But that's when you see the videos on YouTube, the tarpaulin getting ripped up.
Yeah.
I think we got an allocation of about 4,500, 5,000 that game with the whole Arthur weight stand, which they do share out now with the home end. I don't think there's anyone in the home end going to be there this time around, but it'll be empty seats. But from what I gather, but yeah, it was just carnage, and I guarantee to you, there's probably about 7,000 Millwall fans that day. It felt like it was, and then Robinson scores. There's also where some chants came from, which I won't repeat on this show today, but we've seen them quite a lot of sort of oppositions that do the kind of rhythm to it, and I think that was the first game that was really born from. But no, honestly, like Palace away is a proper away day, isn't it? It's like, and I know like it's not Man United or Man City, but it's Palace.
Maybe in the next round, mate. Who knows?
Was that 2011? No, it was 2010, I think, Anthony. 2010 game, 1-0. First year we got promoted to the Championship. I think I'm even going to say it was October time. Phil Robinson roused the keeper, scores to make it 1-0. So, yeah, have the Ultra got their police escort sorted yet? No doubt. I'm sure Palace's Ultras will be out in full force and looking forward to Millwall coming into town.
But, we don't get many good. People make a lot of comments, don't they, about our away support being shit and stuff. But this league is so fucking northern, so boring. Teams like Preston and stuff. And then we sell out Watford, sell out Palace. Funny enough, get a couple of games that are a bit more local and get good turnout. So, no, it'd be a good day out. I fancy us, mate. This is all next week's content, here, but I fancy us.
Yeah, me too. I'm just getting excited by it. But we've got games to focus on tomorrow. Speaking of these selling out, I think we had to ask for extra tickets twice from the initial allocation we got from Derby. So, you know, we are being well followed. I mean, I think it's 1,700 of us going tomorrow. So, yeah, should be interesting nonetheless. We'll come on to Derby in a short while anyway, guys. If you're liking the show, please be sure to like the video and get your comments in. We're not shy to get them up on the screen, so it'd be good to get your thoughts and interactions. Which one do you want first? Do you know what? I'm actually going to go with this one. It's the 21st of February today, guys. 21st of February 2024. We saw the return of this man. No, you all know me as being the Neil Harris supporter, of course. But I couldn't believe firstly it's been a year. It's been a year, Frankie, right, since Neil Harris came in. I'm not going to make it about Neil Harris right now, believe it or not. But firstly, it's been a crazy year since we sacked Joe Edwards. But it's a year to the day, almost to the time, because this was announced at 6 p.m. But what's your thoughts on how we've been in this year? Like, it's been 365 days, we've come a full loop. It's been quite the transition, hasn't it, I suppose, from where we were once upon a time.
Yeah, it's been a funny old year, isn't it, mate? I don't think I've ever known a year like this at Millwall. When you think the amount of change, Harris going, new manager coming in, Cav going, Aldo going, the amount of change behind the club, complete change in recruitment strategy. It's been pretty bonkers at times, and it's not all been plain sailing, has it? Let's be honest. It's been a bit up and down. And if we was having this conversation in the first week of December, it'd probably be a bit negative. We'd all probably be sitting there thinking, have we had a bit of a nightmare here? But things are looking better now. So yeah, it's been an interesting one, and ultimately, I think what Harris did is he's still given us the foundations to succeed now, and he kept us in the league. He's kept us fighting. So credit where credit is due to him, I guess, and he's definitely played his part.
I think you'll find if end of November, first week of December, we booed us after being 10 games unbeaten. But anyway, I'm not bitter. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I'm moving on from the Harris point.
I don't do anyone, mate.
I'm joking. I'm only messing. We're moving on from Harry's point. I just want to highlight, obviously, the last year. Firstly, it feels like so much has happened. You're right, obviously, everything that's gone down there. And we're not talking about Harris here specifically. We're just talking about how year to the day. I mean, this time last year, I really thought it was going down. Like, I thought League One was on the cards, relegation. I thought like it was going to be a few years in League One and go again. Really, I mean, like it or hate that. I mean, that's kind of where we was at. Then obviously we went and got that result at Southampton, and then from there it just continued the rest of that season. And then obviously in the summer we lost Sarkic as well. Let's not forget, and all that came with that, and just the upheaval and the roller coaster. I think it's really well summed up here. Roller coaster comes to mind from Mark. It's been a crazy year, but here we are, 6 points off the playoffs in a much better sitting compared to where we were this time last year. So regardless of what you make of the reins of the club nowadays, or who's in charge, or whatever you think of it, we're in a better position as we were this time last year, Frankie, right? And if we continue that trajectory, this time next year, if we're in a higher league position and close to the playoffs, we're doing the right things, I suppose, as a football club.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And it's difficult, isn't it? Because we make a lot of the things we say is obviously quite reactive, and you can only judge a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes probably 6, 8, 12 months after it happens. So who knows where this new approach takes us. But as you said, to your point, if we keep taking steps as we are, you can only be positive with what we're doing, I guess. But yeah, it's been a strange old year, isn't it? I wouldn't mind next year being a bit more boring, if I'm going to be completely honest. A little bit of normality next year is absolutely fine, please, Millwall.
Are you sure about that one?
If you could just have finished 10th, that'd be absolutely fine with me, mate.
I think if it was boring, people still find a way to complain about it.
I will find something about that. Yeah.
Just some comments. I'm gonna address them. Your second club now, Cambridge United. Okay, thanks for that, Danny Millwall. What was another one I had? I saw Jiminy Cricket, of course. Hello, mate. I'm gonna get the Cambridge season ticket next season. I'll have you know I'm on the dugout every game. My seat's reserved right next to Neil, just to do whatever he asked me to do. Yeah, whatever. Cameron got a new job today. I saw that he's gone into like a legal law firm or something, Kavanagh. I'm sure it on LinkedIn.
Consultancy stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so he's going into like consultancy league stuff. So, I mean, there you go. Kavanagh's back in the game somewhere. Anthony Smith, 23 likes, 84 watching. Smash the like. Come on, guys. Give us some likes. And, yeah, imagine if we had the same form from now on to the end of the season, Frankie, if we continue that form from last season into this season. From February to end of the season, we was the second best team in the league after Ipswich, I think.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
It was incredible, wasn't it? At the back end of last season and the start of this one. So, yeah, but this is Millwall, wasn't it? We was never going to maintain that form, were we?
Yeah, for sure. Andy, thanks for this one. Roller coaster started with Blackburn end of season game. Don't like to talk about that day, all right?
Let's talk about that.
For a sports law firm as well. Bizarre choice. There we go. We're never going down again. Mark my words from Leslie here. We are in the league we deserve to be in. Rightly so, you're right. But all it takes is one season of mismanagement.
Statement, that.
Well, I think we are where we should be. We've proven it. We think it was our 9th season in the championship now, right? So Morris has scored in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's the 8th season. Wait, no, it's our 9th. It's our 8th season. Yeah, and then next year will be our 9th if we was to stay in the championship, which we're likely to do so. And then after that, then it's obviously the 10th season. Do you know what? I think we're probably one of the longest custodians of the championship at the moment. No doubt.
Must be one of them. Probably like us, Preston, Bristol City, them little middle clubs. But I do think this is the league we deserve to be in. I think we've proven we're a championship club. The only thing that generally does concern me, particularly think back to last year, you do look at League One. I think there's some strong sides in League One. And if we were to go down, I'd be really nervous about our ability to get back up personally. Yeah. Let's hope it never happens. We ain't ever got to worry about it.
No.
It's a minefield, that league, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, this is it. I think Davies is right to say, as well, about to his mate's point. If we start this season, it's our 8th season, longest stint in this league ever. So the most successful period as a Millwall fan in our history, right? I know we've not been in the Premier League or old First Division, but statistically speaking, consolidation-wise, we are where we should be, and we're actually having some good football. And you know what? For me, it does get boring. I will say that. I've been to Derby for about 7 times now. Do you know what I mean? I know Derby got relegated for a couple of seasons, and we had the COVID spell. We couldn't go as many times, but it does get boring as a fan. Especially if I try to go to every game I can go to, right, Frankie? And I find it hard to explain to people like this, but when it's 8 seasons sustainably in the championship, you're going to the same grounds. This season, come to this season, I have no new ground to tick off, for example. The excitement does wane off a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. And they're all northern. It don't help, does it? Because you're always going the same direction. It's always a long old bastard journey.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, it does get a bit dull, doesn't it? How many times can you go deep down and pretend it's exciting?
I've been there 3 times. I had a night out on Preston once. The less said about that, the better, to be honest with you. How about this comment from Patrick? Harris deserves a statue. For the record, guys, Patrick's not my burner account, I promise you. My hands are right here. I'm doing the show, everyone. Frankie, Harris deserves a statue. Do you know what? Take it in isolation. Club record goal scorer, promotional ECB's manager, rescued us last season. Does Harris deserve a statue?
I personally, I wouldn't be building anyone a statue. And but if anyone deserves one, it's probably either Neil or Neil Harris, not Alex Neil, just to clarify. It's probably either Harris or John in it out of the 2.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I suppose if you go way back, Barry Kitchener obviously comes into contention, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In history and how it is, he's got a stand named after him. I suppose maybe you could rename the North Stand the Neil Harris Stand. One day.
It wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me one day. I mean, it probably does feel a bit amiss that there's nothing there for Harris, doesn't it? And there's always names about the place.
I think so. But we're going to move on from that topic before I get labelled some things, no doubt. Even to George Sammy, mate. Hope you're well, pal. Big team in League One, small team in Championship. Yeah, that's kind of always been our problem, hasn't it? Historically, it's always been Championship, League One, Championship, League One, or Second Division, Third Division, First Division, Second Division, whatever.
I don't think would be a big team in League One anymore. I think there's so many decent sides. Look at sides like Bolton, even Wrexham, a decent sized football team.
Yeah,
we'd be bigger end, but we wouldn't be one of the biggest.
What's Bolton's average attendance? I reckon it's not more than 15,000. We get 15,000 weekly, let's not forget. Okay, you count the away fans that come as well.
Have a look.
I know Bolton. I know the old argument when you're in school, who's the biggest club, and you'd always go to Newcastle because they've got 56,000 fans and stuff back in the day and all that sort of stuff, and you'd be using all that as in contention with it. But reality is though, we're not. I don't think in League One we wouldn't be a small club whatsoever. I get where you're coming from because the big names.
I think we'd still be a big club, but we wouldn't want one of the top ones in my opinion.
JB deserves that.
Just trying to find attendance, mate.
We made 2 club record sides this season, says Sean, and made big sales. The caliber players are getting better, no doubt, mate. Hello, Stella. I hope you're well, mate. We're improving as a club and making forward-thinking changes. Younger players getting a chance. will help us recruit prospects. Absolutely. Yes, I should change my name to Neil Harris. It's fine. Listen, I'm going to get one day attacked with Neil Harris. So I can see it happening. Bonsoir, gents. Hello to Lila and Blue. Hope you're well. Guys, if you enjoyed it anyway, like the video. If you've got any questions for us as well, chuck them in here. We're going to move on to the game tomorrow in a short while. But yeah, if you've got anything you want to add on or anything you want us to get to, maybe just ask the questions. But remember when I had Okocha, of course, I remember JJ Okocha. Brummer getting 27k attendance, Bolton 21k, and Huddersfield 19k from Anthony Brazzello. You beat you to it, mate. Beat to the punch.
I had Bolton. I had done full research. Credit, Stu.
Yeah. Was it 21k they get every week? Yeah. Bolton ain't getting 21,000.
Their lowest was like 18,000 in the league.
It's ridiculous. How many season tickets they're giving away?
You have got to wonder, haven't you? And you think, how much are they pay? It's probably like a tenner to get in.
Yeah, probably. Like, yeah, exactly. Per transfer market. Yeah, thanks to that, Anthony. Appreciate it. I'm not on the Nelsons tonight, Mark. No, I'm being sensible. I'm driving to the game tomorrow, so I'm being sensible tonight. Let's be good for once, so shall we? John Dock's statue should be outside the den alongside JB statue. I like that one as well. Yeah, there you go, Frank. I'm not an OnlyFans, no. And hello to your wife. Right. Let's go on to let's answer this question from a Lion Blue, then we'll start to talk about tomorrow's game. What do we think possible playoffs this season? Frankie, I haven't asked you this question. Well, is it possible?
It's possible. Until it's mathematically impossible, it's possible. I wouldn't be putting money on it. I don't think we'll finish above 10th personally.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, mathematically, we're still in there, but you look at the amount of sides that there are between us and the top six. It's a lot of teams you've got to do better than. Mm-hmm. I just think it's a big ask, and we're not maintaining form well enough to pick up the sides on them, pick up the points on them teams.
That's when it gets interesting, right? Because we're not keeping up form, but if we did keep up form, then listen, we're in prime position, right? This is where my delusion comes in for Mill sometimes, right? It's true. I've done.
When we say keeping up form, mate, we only mean like if you was to win 4 games on the bounce, you're well in it.
Well, look, we're on 33 games, so are West Brom and Blackburn. I mean, West Brom are 6 points behind them. Blackburn are somehow 5th place still, 9 points behind, but they're obviously in the process. I don't know if it's happened yet. Appoint a new manager. I saw Karanka get linked to that the other day. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. Yeah, I saw Karanka get linked to that. But yeah, so like, look, I think for me, if you win tomorrow and results go your way, you also got fixtures. I think Ben nailed it on the head, to be fair, the other day to me. The away games are the real problems for us. Burnley away, Leeds away. You're not going to pick up points in a lot of these away games, I feel like. We might do. You never know. But you got to win all your home games and hope you nick some points away from home. And that's what makes it feel like it's a bit of a distant reach for me. I think you never know. We went to Leeds, obviously, in the FA Cup and made changes. They made changes and we got a result. Yep. But we can definitely have an outside chance of it. But realistically, I think if we finish 10th to 14th, I'll be quite happy with that. Beat the points tally from last season and just go again. I think that's kind of where we're at with it. Let's get some comments up anyway. Possible, but too early from Peter. Top 10 finish would be pushing it from Daily and Millwall. Spencer, hello mate, hope you well. I'd like to think we can flirt with the playoffs this season to keep the season interesting. That's exactly it, isn't it? Alan Marr here says no chance. Absolutely from Interstellar. Is Steve on a promise tonight? No, Steve is no longer here today, I'm afraid. Forget relegation, it ain't happening. We should be looking up, not down. Absolutely. We need the string of wins if we want to look up. I think, yeah, like I said, it's the away games for me that's a real concern. So playoffs a possibility. We need Leonard back. I've heard he's not actually that far off, Leonard's. You heard similar?
I think the last I heard about 4 or 5 weeks, I think.
Which is interesting because it felt like it was a season-ending one for him, isn't it? Like him and Danny. But
yeah,
Danny Maxim's the one that come off obviously a lot worse for wear for that one. But it seems like Leonard might be back by the end of March, from what I heard. And that's me it's purely on a whisper there. So we'll see. There's a great picture.
That might be back on grass. How long before he gets match fit again? Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, of course. And you don't want to rush him back, do you? He's someone that if he breaks down again, you fear it, don't you? A little bit of him. Born free, die free. There's a great picture online of JB and Neil from Wembley with arms around each other, smiling and waving at us. Make a great statue. Not far wrong, mate. That'd be brilliant. Playing for 2 spots, not catching the top 4. Peter says absolutely. I'd rather Alex Neil finds out what his best side is than push for next year. That's true. The only thing I'll say is, you mentioned these teams that are in League One. It does feel like, and I felt the same as well, like when the opportunities do come to you, if you have the chance of being in the playoffs, you can't take for granted and assume next season is going to be a good season. Like, because the standard will get better. Do you know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying when I try to say that?
Well, the Championship keeps doing this, doesn't it? If you look the last couple of years, it's got a really tough year, really strong standards, then a little bit too bob, then really good. And then if you look at this year again, I don't think this is a particularly good particularly strong Championship. Last year was a lot stronger, so I wouldn't be confident that next year's a given. If we can get it, then there's no way you'd sit there and tell your nose, Peter, would you? Do you know what I mean? But
I think if this is what you get conflicted, because Patrick's right here. Fuck players this year. We ain't ready for promotion. I'd rather go up with a solid team that understand each other than fluke it and get hammered every week by the likes of Ipswich. You're right.
I would love it every week.
Exactly, you're right. But like, listen, if you gave me 19 away days in the Premier League next season, I'm doing 19 away days in the Premier League next season. You know what I mean? It's like it'd be like just dreamy for a football fan to be able to go through that and live that. I'm on Danny's level here though. Would be great to get to semi-final or final of the FA Cup. Why not, right? Would be great to do something in the League Cup. So say one day, we'll never say never. 7 points count of the next 3 games: Derby, Bristol City, and Watford away is possible. We'll see.
It is possible, but it's also possible to get 1 point because this is Millwall. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be negative about it, but this is what we do, isn't it? We get close and then we drop off again. So
yeah, I'm gonna ask you one last question, quick fire. We need Tango for captain. I had this question last Friday. I think my only thing back is I don't think he's gonna be beyond this season. I said if you make him captain, if he's here next season, I'm all for it. But I don't think it's not a long-term sustainable option, is it?
I don't think you can change captain mid-season because I think he just kills Cooper. Because really, you're saying you're taking off Cooper, aren't you? And I think all you're really doing is hurting your longest-standing, most experienced member of your dressing room. So I don't think you can do that. I think that'd be a massive mistake. If he's here in the summer and he's staying, 1,000%. 1,000%.
For what it's worth, I think the last 2, 3, 4 games, Cooper's been phenomenal next to Tanganga.
Yeah.
I've scored the goal against West Brom as well. I thought he was really solid the other night. The problem with him is if you get a player running against him, he's always going to look like a fucking bendy boss trying to turn. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't happen for Cooper, but he's been really solid the last few games, I think. So we'll see.
Just on Cooper quickly, mate. His passing against West Brom was outstanding.
The diags.
It was ridiculous. It was threading balls through midfield. You're thinking, who is this bloke? Like, it was quality. So credit's due.
For sure. And also, it's interesting though. Like we've got players like Hutchinson still in the building. He's not going to be here beyond this season, is he? That's for sure, right?
No. I think you're going to get to a bit. I think that's what Peter's comments about. It'll be a good shout.
Make Cooper club captain, Tango team captain. Yeah, is that the one you're on about?
Yeah, that's the one, mate.
Yeah. Tony W says Jeffrey Tanganga will be here next season if we finish strong this season. I think there was a comment here earlier, which I saw. Tango gone in the summer. Danny, again, I completely agree with you. He's here to prove his fitness and has to play a season. If he plays every game to the end of the season, I can't not see a club coming in for him in the summer personally, because he's had now a year and a half of proving his fitness. Look, we might be able to offer him a new contract, convince him to stay and be part of the project for next season. We might be able to, of course we will, but I don't see it personally. That's just my personal take on it. I don't know anything like that. I think, come on, I'm going to bring it Anthony. This was a question I was going to ask in a second. Would you give Billy captain if he continues to play well and keeps his place in the team? I'd give it to Coops or Billy, says Anthony Smith. I think there was a question here from Alex S. Actually, do you think we're starting to see the phasing out of Sav? I discussed it with Ben on Wednesday. What's your take, Frankie?
No, I don't think so. I think we've said this before. I think Sav's still got a massive part to play. And I actually thought on Tuesday when we actually really missed him. So I think we'll still see a lot of Sav. It'll be interesting to see if he gets kept on next year, though, because he might not get a new contract, and then who knows? Do you know what I mean? But at the minute, I think I'm leaning towards giving Sav a new contract.
Me too, for sure. I think he's just a good option to have, but also if you're assuming Hutchinson's going to go, Murray Wallace is going to go, I feel like you need that. You know, Leonard and Sav.
You need a couple of your personalities, didn't you?
Yeah, and also Honeyman will be probably gone in the summer too, as Danny says here. I imagine Honeyman's on a fair whack. We could be signed from another championship club on a free transfer. I reckon Honeyman's on a decent wage. You know, I think there'll be players leaving the building that are senior pros. I think if you keep Cooper, Sav, and Leonard as your 3 kind of core players, I'll keep Neil Harris captaining myself. All right. We've got high earners that players out of contract the next season. It could depend if we reinvest for sure. Right, come on then. We've gone 40 minutes. We're going to start talking a bit about Derby County tomorrow. Frankie, you got your stats ready to read out, mate? I'm going to throw up on the screen as well.
Yeah, go on.
Let's do it.
So, Derby County failed to win any of their last 4 league games against Millwall. 2 draws, 2 losses. Enjoying it's their longest winless run against the Lions. Last was between 92 and 94. Millwall have won each of their last 4 away league games against Derby since 2019, winning by 1 goal margin in each of those matches, which is proper typical Millwall. That is.
Mm-hmm.
Derby County have gone 10 championship games without a win, 2 draws, 8 losses since beating West Brom on Boxing Day, which is their last longer winless run was in 2020, 11 games, which I want to say is the year they got relegated.
Yeah, it might be.
Millwall boss Alex Neil has lost 6 of his 10 championship meetings with Derby, so that's not fantastic. Although it's his first since a 1-0 win on Boxing Day in 2020 as Preston manager. Derby haven't scored a goal in any of their last 5 home league games. The Rams have never previously gone 6 in a row without scoring a goal in home soil. I mean, that is an incredible stat, isn't it? That is awful. Yeah. When we sit there and moan about 1-0 Millwall and that sort of thing, imagine that.
I mentioned it earlier. I guested on only for 5 minutes on the BBC Derby radio, Derbyshire radio, whatever it is. I think it's a good hunting ground, isn't it? We've won the last 4 there as well. I checked. I remember being there last time when Tyler Bury scored. I think he might have scored both that day, Tyler Bury, if I'm not mistaken. So, or maybe Jed got one as well. But I remember us playing in the light blue kit on a Tuesday night. We won at Derby.
I thought Mason Bennett got one.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I think because I remember Bury had that run of games, didn't he? I think he scored against QPR as well, didn't he? Not the same run. And we went there. I think we won 2-1, maybe 2-0. I'll get the games up actually. 2-0. There you go. So I'll actually get the games right. I should do that, shouldn't I? So yeah, we've got last trip to Derby was a 2-0 victory. Before that, we won 1-0 in 2021. That was a Sean Hutchinson goal. Obviously, that's during COVID times. 2019, we also won 1-0. That was a goal from Tom Bradshaw. Prior to that, we also then won 2019 the same year. A 1-0 win. Jed Wallace with a goal. So it's a good hunting ground for us. It is. And they hadn't scored since Boxing Day is what the stat was. Obviously, you mentioned 5 home games in the bounce without scoring. So, yeah. We've got obviously some reaction here. We'll lose to Derby because that's what we do from Danny. Derby win there from Alex S. We lose to shit teams, boys. I think we're gonna go for it tomorrow. I think it's gonna be the mentality, isn't it? Like we're not gonna play back 5 again tomorrow, I don't think, are we? Surely not.
I'll be very surprised, mate. I think we've got, as much as we sit there and say any away game's a tough away game, blah blah blah. You've got to go and take the game to them, you. But this is a John Eustace side? Is it John Eustace? I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's his first home game as well for them. Yeah, they lost obviously 4-0 last week to QPR. So yeah,
so it's a bit of a different proposition. Is the only thing I would say, and they'll be well up for it.
Yeah, I think so. And also, it's an early kickoff. Make of that what you will. I mean, I'd love to see a statistic how we've done an early kickoff so far this season. There's been plenty of them. I don't think we're going to have a 3 o'clock kickoff again to the end of March now. Crazy, right?
Yes, it's ridiculous. And I don't know if anyone saw it, but Sky Sports now, I think they've released their fixtures, and after this, they're then doing it week by week for who's going to be the TV and who's going to get moved. So will we have another one? Who knows?
Yeah, no doubt we will. Especially if we start winning games and they want us on telly. Be moved to Sunday and all that sort of stuff, mate. Written away over it for sure. Derby County also completed the sign of experienced striker Kamar Roof, who's playing tomorrow. Tony says. Peter said the same thing. Kamar Roof. I always remember the game against Oxford United in the Johnson's Paint Trophy where he scored 2, 4 blundered 1 in the home game. So he always scores against us. Kamar Roof feels like, doesn't it?
He can't have played against us like 3 times, mate. He can't have played against us. I mean, how fit's he going to be? He hasn't had a club all year, has he? And how good's he going to be? Because if he was much caught, someone would sign him in January.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Hopefully he's shit. I'll be surprised if he plays much.
No, I agree. Probably off the bench tomorrow, I imagine. It's a random sign, isn't it, though, as well? Like, I know they're in desperate need, Derby. And you look at their squad, I feel like I'm going to start jinxing it by saying this sort of stuff, but they've got a lot of injuries. And you look through their team, like, it doesn't feel like there's many well-beaters in that side. Like, they used to have all them youngsters, Max Birds, the Jason Knights of this world. But you read their team now, they've got Nathaniel Mendes-Lang. They've got Jerry Yates in there. They've got Ben Osborne, who used to play for Forest and Sheffield United. They've got that Clark there as well, Matt Clark, who signed a 6-month deal. He was at Middlesbrough previously this season. Ryan Niambi, who's a fullback. But you look through their side, and it does look a very, very, very average Championship team.
Dare I say League One?
It is. And I think they're destined to go to League One, which is why it's more shocking about John Eustace going there, because if he does keep him up, he's done remarkable there. They're 22nd place in the league, ain't they, Frankie, as well? Like, I think if you look at the bottom three, I think Luton might get out of it. I don't know where that's come from in my head, but I just feel like surely they're going to turn it on eventually, right?
I don't think so, mate. And I think Matt Bloomfield is an absolute disaster. I can't. Out of everyone, I think Plymouth will do it.
Yeah,
yeah, because they're not. If they keep it simple, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're just defending hard, playing physical, fully committed. Whereas Luton just seem beat.
No, I do get what you mean. There's definitely something horrid going through that Luton side, but I just feel like the quality there's got to eventually turn it on. Surely, I know they were poor against us at home as well, which was a shock.
I think sometimes, mate, with a team, this is a football team that's been losing games now for the last 71 games. If you look at since they got promoted, they've lost the vast majority of games they've played.
Yeah.
And I think confidence is just gone.
Zapped, gone. Would you rather beat Derby tomorrow or win against the Nigels next week?
Oh,
I'd rather beat Palace. Just getting out there now. I'd rather beat Palace next week. If you said to me right now, we'd not beat Derby tomorrow, meaning a draw, I guess. I might as well take that on face value, that question. Beat Palace, I'd take it in a heartbeat, mate. I'd take it. I really would.
As long as it's a draw against Derby, fine.
Even if we lost 1-0, mate, I still would take the beating Palace next weekend.
I probably would, yeah. we're not going to go down, are we?
Sorry,
we're not going down, are we?
No, that's what I mean. Like, what are we on? We're on 42 points. We need 3 more wins and we're safe. Yeah. Even then, I don't think it'd be 46 points. I think it'd be less than 46 to keep you up. So you could take 2 more wins and we're safe. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Palace, mate. I'd rather beat Palace.
Yeah, I think I'd rather beat Palace too, to be honest. What's the chat saying? Come on, everyone. What would you rather do? I'll come to your comments in a second. The big Serbian will turn it on again, says Daz. I hope so, mate. I really think like you see Steve Morrison arc. I keep saying it. I think he's just got to run the games down and start scoring goals. So we'll see. Alex Neal is very negative, says Carl. Should Harding get some minutes tomorrow as he needs minutes before Palace? And I think he deserves a go. Would you play him tomorrow, mate?
No, I don't think I would. But I think Crane was starting to look like a centre-back playing right-back. Mm-hmm. I think the last couple of games we've seen that he struggled maybe a little bit, particularly going forward. So I'd be interested to get someone out there maybe, but I don't think Hardy would be my first choice.
Yeah. In answer to the question, would you rather beat Crystal Palace or would you rather beat Derby tomorrow if you want us to win one of them? Tony says both. All right, Tony. Thanks, fair enough. Leslie says Palace. Beat Palace all the way from Kevin. Stephen, hello, mate. Beat Palace all day long. Beat the Nigels all day from Anthony. I'd lose 6-0 tomorrow and beat Palace. Do you know what, Patrick? I'm not far off you, mate. I would take it.
After Plymouth, mate, that's more than possible.
Spencer says definitely would rather beat Palace, 100%. Beat Palace. I think it's overwhelming here, mate. Beat Palace and SA breaks his leg from Gaz line. I thought you signed for that one, Gaz, personally. Alex S says beat Palace, and so does Chris Brown. Palace. Yeah, like, you know what, like, it is like at this point of the season, if we were sitting 22nd, it was in Derby's position, you'd probably turn around and say, look, win the league game, but you got to beat Palace, haven't you?
Can I change the question slightly?
Go on.
Would you rather beat Palace or beat Derby and it means you get playoffs?
Oh.
Would you rather go to the next round? Would you rather get playoffs?
So playoffs or Palace, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go, guys. Question for the chat. Would you rather beat Palace or get the playoffs this season?
What about you, mate?
Beat Palace.
Really? I'd rather playoffs.
I can't say that much. Yeah, I don't know. Look, I want us to win next week. As a fan, when there's 4,000 of you descending on one of your rivals, whether we like it or not, Palace are one of our rivals, I think, right? There's nothing better than turning up, right, and winning at a rival, especially Crystal Palace, where we're not probably going to play them again for a while.
If you get playoffs, though, mate, you might play them next year.
I think there's elements to it though. Like when they came to us in the FA Cup and they won, when at least they turned it on. I think I still rather beat Palace. You know, I think that feeling when you walk out of the grounds, if we win next weekend, you can't capture that feeling. I don't think, as a match going fan, I don't think that can be bottled up enough. It's been 13 years since we played there as well, Frankie. Let's not forget. It's a long time coming.
Yeah, I think I'd still go playoffs, mate. But you know, I can get the argument.
Yeah,
it's an emotional argument, right?
Yeah, Alex says beat Palace, beat the Nigels from Danny, still beat Palace from Stephen. Lige Ross says playoffs. John Pass says playoffs. Giving Palace too much respect. It's Palace a fuck. Listen, I know what you're saying, John, but I don't know. For me, like, there's something in it. Patrick says I lose 6-0 in the playoffs and beat Palace, and playoffs and beat Palace twice next season. Yeah, you're right, Lions. I get that. I get that. Beat both. I'm greedy. Palace home form is patchy and 4,000 mil there. Exactly. The atmosphere is going to be incredible next week. But look, we'll save Palace talk for next week. Let's try and not mention it again for the rest of the show. I'll definitely mention it.
There's no chance of that.
Yeah, of course. I've not played Alice yet. That's going to happen at some point, no doubt as well. So, right. Should we talk a bit about our side then? What are we anticipating for our 11? Chat, get your starting 11 starts getting them in the chat and I'll read them out for everyone. What do you think our starting 11 is going to be tomorrow, Frankie? We'll go through it one by one. In goal, I imagine Jensen gets his spot. I don't see any reason not to change that, especially with Roberts likely to play next Saturday.
Against who, mate?
Against that team, the Nigels. that team from Surrey. Against that team from Surrey.
Dodged it, well played. Jensen stays in, mate.
Yeah, I think so. Right backs, and obviously there was Patrick. I think Patrick Barrett said play Harding.
Mm-hmm.
Would you play Harding tomorrow? Okay, here's one for you then. And also, I'll put it to you, Patrick, in the chat. Right? What if Harding gets injured tomorrow? If he plays, I get the argument about getting him minutes in the tank, but I'd also say he came in against Leeds, and I didn't question his match fitness. To be honest with you, I think he come in done a good job. There's something to that, obviously lacking match practice and all that sort of stuff, but he's training daily. He's in and around the squads. He'll be sharp enough for the game. What if he got injured tomorrow? Who would you play at right back against Palace if he got injured? Because Cramer's cup tied, right?
It would be a bit of a nightmare, wouldn't it? Like, it'd be a bit of a nightmare situation. So I can get that. I'd maybe be interested in giving Harding like 10, 15 minutes at the end just to give a bit of a run out. But that largely depends on how the game's going tomorrow, I guess, doesn't it? So, yeah, I don't think we'll see Harding start tomorrow.
Cramer right back then?
Either it will be Cramer, but I wouldn't mind seeing Billy Mitchell right back.
Interesting. Back four, I imagine, comes back in as well tomorrow, right? Surely.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Really hope so.
Derby playing back four as well from what I've seen in their recent fixtures. So I imagine we'll go back to back four, to be honest. Left back, Joe Bryan continues there.
It's got to be, in it.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Ain't Mary Wallace, so it's got to be.
Where's Sack Sturge? I think I said to Ben the other night, I think Sturge is there just as a contingency, just in case.
Just in case. I don't know if any of you watched the Charlton game for free on Millwall TV the other day, but he didn't look fantastic, to be fair.
No.
It was, don't get me wrong, it's hard to judge, but...
What was the score in the end?
Lost 1-0.
Lost 1-0, didn't we? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I think Brian plays personally. I don't see a world where anyone else plays there, to be honest. And the same back four in general, isn't it, really? It's going to be Cooper and Tanganga, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Midfield too? If you're playing Billy, you probably want Sav and Denoy in midfield, don't you?
Well, I think he'll start Cundall. I think he'll start Cramer right back. So on the basis that he does that, I think it probably will be Mitchell and Denor again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do agree with you. I don't see much change, to be honest, with a lot of the sides. I think Negley maybe gets the opportunity to come back in the side tomorrow, maybe, because obviously, I think someone put a comment earlier. I think obviously Bangor Williams picked up his injury. I have not seen anything about that. Have you seen anything about RBW's injury at all, Frankie?
No, nothing whatsoever.
It's gone a bit quiet there. It looked like it was an off the ball kind of maybe pulling up almost, which probably means out for 3 to 4 weeks if you're guessing. But yeah, either way, I don't think we're going to see him featuring anytime soon. So I think maybe that opens the door for Negley to come back into the side personally, I think, on the right-hand side or left. And then you probably, is Connolly going to come back in as well? I don't know. It's interesting, right?
What would your three be, mate?
I'd have Negley, Kundal, and Aziz.
Exactly the same.
Negley, Kundal,
exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see any other World West, not them three, to be honest. And then you're probably going to just play the big Serp up top, ain't you? Or is Coburn going to get you start?
I wouldn't mind seeing Coburn, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think Ivanović has been excellent as of late, but I think he's looked a little bit leggy.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't mind seeing us change it a little bit and maybe sub off the bench. So I personally think I'll go Coburn, actually, yeah.
Would you really? But we got a game midweek.
That's properly harsh on Ivanović, but you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Mickey's saying it is what it is. He's not here today to say it. You know, it is what it is. I would personally keep the sale up top. That's just my personal take. Guys, what's your teams anyway? I've not seen any 11s put in just yet, but who do we have inside there? What's happened to Ryan Wintle as well? I think it's coming from Jimmy P. He's still at Millwall, isn't he? He's not gone back.
Yeah, he's still here. The last third, I think he had like an abscess, something like that.
Interesting.
It's been a fucking bad one because he's been out for months, hasn't
he?
But no, I haven't heard or seen anything.
No, me either. So yeah, okay, there's our 11s. I don't have much else to add on it, to be honest. I think that's going to be the team that I suspect he'll go for. Should we start to get our predictions in? What we think the score's going to be, mate? I think everyone get your predictions in now. Let's see what we think this is going to be the likely score tomorrow. I'm going in confident, to be honest with you, Frankie, mate. I don't know about you, but I'm hoping for a performance, and I think we're going to get it as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to go one or two ways. I think we're either going to look very good, or it's going to be another Preston where it's a bit of a dull affair. John Lewis dislikes to play sides that sort of sit back and they're compact, aren't they? So it could be a difficult game. Get an early goal, and it'll be a good day for Lions.
I went 2-1 on the radio earlier, 2-1 to Millwall. I said 1-0 up, 1-1 before half time. They'll get one back, score their goal. I thought it'd be kind to them, seeing as they haven't scored since Boxing Day at home. The thing is, we've got to contend with it's Eustace's first game in charge at Pride Park. I know they got battered 4-0 last week, but I also look for their side and there's nothing that fears me for them personally. I do think we really win this game, to be honest. I do think it's 2-1 us and we get one towards the end of the second half. We'll have changes off the bench that will make an impact, I feel like. And I think that's going to be something that's in our favour. We've got to use the bench wisely. The likes of a marker as well, welcome back. I mean, that's great to have him back, Frankie. What's your take on that one, obviously?
Yeah, it's massive because his pace off the bench is just ridiculous and it's such a threat. So hopefully he can come on and have an impact. He struggled to get into the Preston game, didn't he? But we know what he brings. And hopefully it's just typical. He starts to look like himself and then gets injured. But no, he's an exciting player, isn't he?
We've got loads of predictions coming in, guys. Keep them coming. We've got 3-0 from Stephen Bevan, 1-1 from Kevin Millbrook, 2-2 Steve Chilton, 2-1 Wall, Billy and the Surf from Anthony. Same as you, really, from Sean here. 1-2 Wall from Chris Brown, 2-1 Wall from Peter, 3-1 from Leslie, 0-0 from Alex. Don't say 0-0, mate. Come on. I wouldn't mind that. Look, if you said to me we get a draw tomorrow.
1-0. Well, I'll take that, I
guess. Or Desmond, at least. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully 2-0 Mill from Colin Taylor. 3-1 Wall. I've just lost some comments. 3-1 Wall from Jimmy P. 3-1 Wall, Coops, Kundal and Coburn. What's your take on Kundal? I love Luke Kundal. I think he's a brilliant signing, by the way. He's really, really impressed me.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I think he's been excellent. I think he struggled a little bit against Preston out on the left-hand side. I think he looked a bit isolated at times, and he was working his nuts off and just all by himself. But when he's got people around him in them little pockets in between defence and midfield, what a player.
Yeah, for sure. 3-0 from Stephen, 2-1 Brian with all 3 goals from Mark McCallum, 3-1 to Millwall from Daily Millwall. If Daily Millwall's going for a win, we're definitely going to win tomorrow, I think. I know he's quite pessimistic sometimes. If they haven't scored at home since Boxing Day, it's 100% guaranteed they score in the first 10 minutes from John Parr. 2-1 us, Cooper anytime, 25-1. Like it. And how many tickets have we got for Palace? Steve, we've got 3,800. They're all gone. They're all sold out. They're all sold out. They're all gone. Yeah, there you go. I went 2-1. Did you give me a prediction? I can't remember if you said it.
No, mate. I'm gonna go 3-1.
Love it.
3-1.
Goal scorers?
Coburn, Cooper, and Dunor.
I'm gonna go 2-1. Ivanović and Kundal. I fancy us to win 2-1. Like I said, 1-0 first half. Maybe they get one back just for the break. Second half, 2-1 win. I think the likes of Marco will come and make an impact as well. I think it's good to have just a pace off the bench, to be honest. So, yeah, that's my prediction. That's Stephen's prediction. That's also Frankie's prediction as well. I gave you a new name there, mate.
I've been called worse than that. It's absolutely
better than James Corden, isn't it? Right, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 2-1 to the Lions from me, 3-1 to the Lions from Frankie. I think we'll come towards the end, Frankie. Is there anything else you wanted to add or bring up in this conversation tonight, mate?
No, enough for me, mate. Enjoyed the show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks to everyone watching. Thanks to the chat. I think we're just going to wrap up after this hour here. If you're new around here, please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new. We do appreciate your feedback. We do appreciate any kind of comments and interactions, and we do try our best to get back to everyone in the comment section as well. So that's been us. I think it's only right, seeing as we play them next weekend. Crystal Palace, that is. I might as well mention it just one last time. We're going to play out to only one fitting song until we play them next week. So, yeah, come on, you Lions. Roll on tomorrow. And if you're going, I'll see you up there. Let's get this result and hopefully come back with 3 points tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.